with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
There's only one way to describe Bradley County roads after a
One, two, three. I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know how.
Mic check, testing, 1, 2, 3. Mic.
I was just curious since this week is my first weekend.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover in for Cameron Taylor. We have several closings and delays for tomorrow. In Tennessee, Bledsoe, Bradley, and Meigs County schools are closed tomorrow. McMinn and Polk County schools are also closed. Cleveland City schools and Grundy County schools are running 2 hours late. In North Carolina, Cherokee County schools are closed. In Georgia, Murray County and Whitfield County schools closed. Catoosa County, Chickamauga City, and Dade County schools all running 2 hours late. Dalton Public Schools and Walker County schools are also running a 2-hour delay. Get your up-to-the-minute closings and delays running at the bottom of your screen. Find them on our website under the Weather tab or in our weather app. A sprinkler pipe froze at Howard High School today and burst, spilling water inside the 9th grade academy building. Crews spent the afternoon making repairs and cleaning up multiple rooms affected. The school is ready for students to return to class tomorrow morning, though. Icy roads were to blame for a number of crashes throughout the Tennessee viewing area all through the weekend. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Tanisha Cordell shows us some of the roads where ice and snow remain.
There's only one way to describe Bradley County roads after about an inch of snow and bone-chilling temperatures.
Slick and icy all up and down through here.
Neighbors along Peach Orchard Hill Road say it's just one of several roads that froze over, causing problems for everyone.
Yesterday morning they had a house fire up on the corner and they was having trouble getting the fire engines and stuff up, and they had to get a wrecker out, pull it out of the road, and it's pretty slick.
The road winds up a steep hill, forcing drivers to play it safe year-round. More ice didn't make it any easier.
This curve up here is real slick, and they have a lot of wrecks on it and everything, so it's a pretty dangerous road.
One of many reasons the roads throughout the county were vacant majority of the time.
There wasn't a whole lot of people traveling yesterday. It's pretty well take it easy, stay safe, stay off the roads.
Despite less traffic, dispatch says 40 crashes were reported due to the icy conditions. Though the wintry mix is starting to melt, authorities say secondary streets remain dangerous. While many were excited about the first snowfall of the year, some weren't so amused.
It's pretty and all, but I'm ready for it to be over with. I'm ready for summertime.
That was Tanisha Cordell reporting. It's January. In the auto world, that means it's time for the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, Michigan. The Chattanooga-made Passat was introduced there in 2011. This year, Volkswagen has debuted what they're calling the R-Line package for their 2018 Atlas. Also to be made on the line at Enterprise South, this SUV will include special wheels and trim and driver assist features. The vehicle, seen here in photos from the automaker, will be rolled out to the public tomorrow in the Motor City. VW goes in front of the cameras at 10:15 a.m. A woman wanted by law enforcement agencies in the Tennessee Valley for her connection to several purse snatchings is now in custody. The Cleveland Police Department announced on their Facebook page today that Frida Darlene Garrett had been located and was in custody. Cleveland police have evidence, they say, that points to Garrett's involvement. She's wanted in crimes in Whitfield County and Floyd County, both of those in Georgia, as well as in Bradley, Hamilton, Meigs, and McMinn counties here in Tennessee. A $50,000 winning Powerball ticket was sold in Hickson. The numbers were 3, 12, 24, 37, 63, and the Powerball was 10. That player won by matching 4 of the 5 white numbers drawn plus the Powerball number. No one won that entire Powerball jackpot. That's now at $106 million. Georgia's General Assembly opens a new legislative session tomorrow. It's expected to focus on education, gambling, and health care. Republican leaders say President-elect Donald Trump's election killed any talk of Medicaid expansion. Instead, the Senate plans a task force to prepare for Congress's planned repeal of President Obama's signature health care law. Fellow Republicans are calling for President-elect Donald Trump to act on U.S. intelligence they say is proof that Russia hacked emails to try to influence the U.S. election. Trump was briefed by intelligence leaders on Friday. His tweets over the weekend show his continued support for U.S.-Russia relations. Some of Mr. Trump's cabinet nominees get hearings beginning on Capitol Hill this week. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has this story.
With less than 2 weeks to go before he becomes president, Donald Trump and his team are still pushing back against an intelligence report that Russia meddled in the U.S. election, instead blaming the Democratic National Committee.
We're talking about this because we had embarrassing leaks from the DNC emails. There were no fireworks in that report because there was no firewall at the DNC.
Trump was briefed by intelligence leaders on the hacking evidence Friday. Saturday, he tweeted that having a good relationship with Russia is a good thing, and only stupid people or fools would think that is bad. Fellow Republicans are calling on the president-elect to show leadership and make Russia pay.
If after having been briefed by our intelligence leaders, Donald Trump is still unsure as to what the Russians did, that would be incredibly unnerving to me because the evidence is overwhelming.
President Obama and Trump disagree about what to do with Russia, but Mr. Obama says the two have had cordial talks during this transition.
As soon as you walk into this office after you've been sworn in, you're now in charge of the largest organization on earth. You can't manage it the way you would manage a family business.
The president-elect's cabinet choices begin Senate confirmation hearings this week. Some of his most controversial picks are up first: Jeff Sessions for Attorney General, Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State, and Mike Pompeo for CIA Director. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Let's head over to the Storm Alert Center. Nick Austin standing by for a look at your Monday weather. Hey, Nick.
Hey there, Greg. It is going to be another really cold night, but things are going to warm up this week. A beautiful shot of the city from our live downtown Holiday Inn camera. We do have some clouds up in the sky. That's going to keep temperatures from getting a lot colder than they were last night, but it's still going to be cold overall. But warming up this week, if you don't like this really cold and wintry weather, boy, it's going to feel almost like spring for at least a couple of days this upcoming week, and we'll have some rain coming back off and on as well. We could use some more of that. 20s and teens for temperatures across the state. It's 18 in Knoxville, 26 Nashville. Right here in Chattanooga, it's 20 degrees up in Altamont. It has cooled down to 17 out at the Murphy Andrews Airport, and up in Athens at the McMinn County Airport, it is 18 degrees right now. Dalton's sitting at 23. Winds are pretty light and won't be an issue through the rest of the night. But here in Hamilton County and in Chattanooga, there is school tomorrow, and the kids will need to bundle up and layer up while waiting at the bus stops tomorrow. 18 degrees in the city early in the morning, and then for the ride home in the afternoon, near 40, so still pretty chilly as they head home from school. Nothing on the radar. Big area of high pressure, dry air over the Tennessee Valley, moving eastward towards the Carolinas and Virginia right now. So as that high moves east of us, the clockwise winds around that high pressure will bring in southerly winds through the rest of the week, as a matter of fact. And we're going to see some warmer temperatures because of that. We'll see clouds here and there too. It won't be full sunshine every day. So we're not talking about record highs, but certainly warmer than normal for January. But the interesting weather and all the active weather is out west, from California, Nevada up through the Pacific Northwest, with rain and snow showers and a lot of flooding rains out in parts of Nevada and California too. But we're dealing with a dry night tonight. We'll see mostly sunny skies, mostly clear weather coming back tomorrow after some clouds tonight. And then we'll see more cloud cover coming back tomorrow night and heading into Tuesday too. I think the rain holds off on Tuesday, but by Tuesday night into Wednesday, that's when the next best chance that we'll see some pretty decent rain here across the Tennessee Valley. Until then, it'll stay dry. 31 and 14, the high and low temperatures today. Boy, it has been a cold day. Nothing record-breaking as far as temperatures, but it was really cold, and no precipitation at Level Field today. 33 the high out in Scottsboro, only 30 for Lafayette, Georgia. Calhoun 32, Dalton topped out around 30, while Fort Mountain only hit 19 degrees, and our Skywatcher Floyd tells us there that there's still a lot of ice on the roads in Fort Mountain, as well as a lot of other high elevations across North Georgia. And also up in Riceville, still some snow on the ground. 27 was the high there. 32 Soddy Daisy, heading up towards Delano around 27. 26 on Lookout Mountain today. Only 34 for Lois out in Jasper, and just 29 the high temperature for 10 Mile in Spring City. Tomorrow is going to be warmer for all of us. 18 though, a cold night ahead here in the city. Partly cloudy skies with light winds. Up to about 41 tomorrow. That's an improvement. Mostly sunny skies for your Monday. And for tomorrow night, down to 29 with more clouds coming back in. And that'll lead to a mostly cloudy day on Tuesday on our 7-day forecast. There's only a small chance for rain during the daytime on Tuesday. The next best chance of rain will be Tuesday night and through a good portion of the day on Wednesday. So you'll need your umbrellas by the middle part of the week. We haven't been used to, we didn't really need them all weekend, so we'll have to get them back out again. But warmer weather with highs in the 50s on Wednesday and then 60s later in the week. We might even get close to 70 Friday afternoon. And the rain chances will be back down for those last couple of days of the work week. So as we mentioned earlier this evening, there might be some people playing hooky later in the week from work. You never know. It's going to be pretty nice out there.
Much better.
Not that I'm encouraging it, but
much better to have the umbrellas than the snow shovels, though.
That's right. It'll be much easier week. No snow days this week.
Thank you, Nick.
You bet.
The party's on in Hollywood tonight. The Golden Globe Awards are in the books, honoring the year's best work in TV and film. Gina Kim joins us from the red carpet. She files this wrap-up.
Lots of familiar faces on the Golden Globes red carpet tonight.
Oh, just thrilled to be here.
But also some rookies, including cast members from NBC's This Is Us.
Golden Globes, golden clothes.
It's so wonderful. It's like exciting and busy and it's bright and so many beautiful people.
Some of them were showcased in a musical number to open the show, a nod to Globe nominee La La Land. That film grabbed wins early, Best Original Screenplay, Song, and Score, as well as Best Actor for Ryan Gosling.
It's ours. Thank you.
Supporting acting honors went to Viola Davis for Fences and Aaron Taylor Johnson for Nocturnal Animals, while Zootopia took Best Animated Film. In the TV ranks, The People vs. O.J. Simpson won Best Limited Series and captured Best Actress for Sarah Paulson.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna faint.
Oh yeah!
Honors for Best Actress in a Comedy went to Blackish star Tracee Ellis Ross, while Donald Glover's creation Atlanta scored Best Comedy in its debut season.
This is incredible.
The first time was also a charm for Netflix's The Crown. It won Best TV Drama and Best Actress for Claire Foy.
Oh my God, I'm having an out-of-body experience.
All part of a golden night for Hollywood. Gina Kim, NBC News, Beverly Hills.
Riders on the New York subway were in for a brief moment of surprise today. Hundreds of people in cities around the world stripped down to their underwear for the 16th annual No Pants Subway Ride. The event was started by the New York-based comedy collective Improv Everywhere. Passengers are required to randomly ride the subway wearing all of their winter gear except for pants and act as if nothing is out of the ordinary. They're also supposed to pretend as if they don't know one another and act as though they don't notice the other pantsless riders. In New York, participants started at 7 train stations, ended at Union Square with a no pants after party. Organizers say the purpose of the event is simply, quote, to make people smile, surprise them, and have fun. Up next on Eyewitness News, security is ramping up in Tampa, Florida, where events are being held prior to the college football championship game between the Clemson University Tigers and the University of Alabama Crimson Tide. Stay with us for a look at that. National Championship Weekend.
You can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11.
David Brigner has been patrolling the waters of Tampa Bay longer than he'd like to admit.
Systematically, what they do on offense, defense, and special teams.
with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
It's that big weekend for college football, and it's all going down in Tampa, Florida. The Alabama Crimson Tide has rolled into town. They'll be taking on the Clemson Tigers. With all the fans in Tampa, security, as you can imagine, is a top priority, both on land and on water. Chip Osowski reports.
Deputy David Rigner has been patrolling the waters of Tampa Bay longer than he'd like to admit. His mission this weekend is an important one.
Our main job here is to assist the Tampa Police Department in just keeping the waterways safe, making sure people aren't putting themselves in danger along the Riverwalk or falling in. We're just here to keep an eye on things and keep everybody safe.
Because all of the events surrounding the championship game are in Tampa, the city is taking the lead in coordinating enforcement. It opened the Emergency Operations Center yesterday and an additional flash room aimed at getting first responders to emergencies as quickly as possible.
It's TFR Operations, and FLASH stands for Fire, Life Safety, and Hazmat. And what we're doing here is monitoring all of the, with the major events, we're taking care of all the suppression issues, the fire-related components that may happen.
He's got a Clemson jacket on. What's up with that?
Deputy Rigner jokes he and his partner, a Temple Terrace police officer, often get mistaken for Clemson fans because their jackets are orange, but the two are equal opportunity enforcers. And in light of what happened in Fort Lauderdale, they know they need to be watching out for anything that doesn't look right.
We're always looking for things out of place. We're always encouraging people to come forward with any information if anybody gives them a kind of an eerie feeling.
Are you curious about that game tomorrow? Big bucks are being paid for tickets. Combination Alabama-Clemson meeting in a rematch of last year's final, plus there's a proximity of the schools to Tampa. All of that's getting together to cause prices to surge for the game tomorrow night. Both Tuscaloosa and Clemson are within easy driving distance. Most of the fans of the Crimson Tide and the Tigers were forced to fly cross country to Glendale, Arizona, where the two teams met a year ago. As of this afternoon, ticket prices on StubHub ranged from nearly $1,600 for a ticket in the upper deck to $17,820 for a sideline seat in the lower bowl. That stadium holds 70,000 people. Speaking of the championship game, head coach Nick Saban spoke to the media today one last time. Hear what he had to say about his opponent. Plus, the Lady Vols are riding a winning streak going into their game against Mississippi State. Joe Jelnick has highlights and more. Sports is next.
Teams on college football's biggest stage.
If I was going to pick who the two best teams are, I would say the two best. If I was going to pick who the two best teams are, I would say the two best teams are here. And that's the way it should be. That's the way a playoff should be.
The two best teams on college football's biggest stage. In less than 24 hours, Alabama and Clemson will go head-to-head in the final game of the season, the College Football National Championship. The two teams made it to the title game last year, and even though most people believe the sequel is never as good as the original, this might be the exception. Last year's championship turned out to be a fourth-quarter thriller, where the Tide executed a beautiful surprise onside kick that set up the touchdown that put Alabama up for good. Despite the 5-point loss, Clemson played a great game against Alabama's defense, with quarterback Deshaun Watson putting up almost 500 total yards and 4 touchdowns. The Heisman Trophy candidate returns again this year as one of the best players in the country, on top of Clemson's defense that is giving up fewer yards and fewer points. So, as Saban said, this should be their greatest match.
Systematically, what they do on offense, defense, and special teams are very, very challenging. I think that we need to be ready for whatever might happen and whatever the situation might be. But I think even without any new wrinkles, it's been a very challenging week for us in terms of our team getting ready for what they do, because they do a fantastic job.
Again, 8 p.m. kickoff tomorrow night in Tampa. The game will air on ESPN. The Lady Vols' 6-game winning streak was on the line today as they hosted the top dog in the SEC, 4th-ranked Mississippi State. The Lady Vols led for most of the first half. Diamond DeShields led all scores tonight with 25 points, while her partner in crime, Mercedes Russell, recorded her 10th double-double this season. Mississippi State, however, finished the second quarter on a 13-2 run to take a 7-point lead at halftime. And while Tennessee battled back throughout the second half to cut the deficit down to 1, MSU outscored Tennessee the rest of the way. Bulldogs defeat the Lady Vols for the first time ever in Thompson-Boling Arena, 74-64 that final. Afterwards, head coach Holly Warlick was pleased with the team's energy, but not the finish.
You just gotta, you gotta finish the deal. And as much as we love offense, you gotta be able to stop somebody. And the threes just broke our backs. They just broke our backs. So.
The Lady Vols will next host South Carolina this Wednesday, Thompson-Boling Arena. Well, in the NFL, now that the wild card weekend is all wrapped up, that means the divisional round is locked and loaded. We found out last night after Seattle's win over Detroit that the Seahawks will be flying over to Atlanta's Nest next Saturday, taking on the Falcons' 4:35 kick. And after that, the AFC East champions, New England Patriots, will be hosting the Texans, who knocked out the Raiders yesterday. And then the next day, on that Sunday, we have the Steelers, who beat up the Dolphins today, taking on the Chiefs, 1 o'clock kickoff, and following that, the Packers at the Cowboys' 4:40 kick in Dallas. Now, going back to that Falcons game, it's the first time since 2012 the Falcons are in the playoffs, and they've already played the Seahawks once this season, and well, this happened. A minute left in the game, Falcons down by 2. Matt Ryan lets one fly, and as Julio Jones goes for it, there's a clear pass interference, but the flag is never thrown. Head coach Dan Quinn not too happy about that one. Falcons end up losing by those 2 points. Again, the two teams will meet next Saturday, 4:35 in the Georgia Dome. All right, that's it for sports. One last look at your weather when we come back.
In just a few minutes, it's a Monday. How are we
That's
starting
right.
the week? One more time.
It's going to start cold, but boy, we're going to do a 180 as far as temperatures this week. No
Bring it
snow
on.
days, that's for sure. It'll be cold tomorrow to start off, though, in the upper teens, up to 41, and then we're back to the 50s and even 60s for highs later in the week, maybe even near 70 Friday. Next best chance of rain Tuesday night and Wednesday, so we will need our umbrellas for a few days this week.
Hope you're warm and snug in your bed for this last story. No water, snow problem for the Georgia Tech men's swim team. The whiteout wiped out the team's meet against Virginia Tech in Blacksburg yesterday, so what to do with all their spare time? You see exactly what they're doing.
Oh,
Laps
that's great.
in the snow. It was a slap in the face from Mother Nature. Perhaps not the best idea when all was said and done because you could get frostbite.
Well, I'd like to hear what their coach had to say about that. But
Oh my goodness.
One of my alma maters, I'm proud of those guys.
oh yeah.
They're talented. Perhaps their skin is aching at this point. Thanks for a great weekend. Stay with us online, WRCBTV.com for any breaking news updates, closings, and all that kind of stuff. We'll see you in the morning. Have a good one.
Then I would love to do just the sports from the top, ending with the Lady Vols song.
Sports from the top, ending with the Lady Vols side.
So as is. Thank you. Appreciate it. Wow, it's amazing that we're done at 11:34 on a Sunday. That's a good feeling.
And you said there's one more Sunday.
Well, it looks like it's next Saturday.
It's Saturday. Is that NBC?
Yeah.
It's nighttime?
It's nighttime. And you know what, Brooks? We don't have a 6 o'clock next Saturday. Because